Hi, beautiful souls. Sorry to keep you waiting. Namaste, everybody. Welcome to live readings, Tuesday live readings. And I'm really glad to be here to offer this today. I know the energy has been really intense for a lot of people. And as the moon is waxing and we are in the summer season in the Northern Hemisphere, I would like to invite you to take this this hour and 15 minutes, just to exhale a little bit and to be here for one another, to support each other through these readings. It's really beautiful what you do in the chat, and I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation. Okay, I will get to the readings in just a moment, but I just want to read what I wrote in the description box below, just to get everybody into the mood, the energy of the readings for today. So first of all, blessings for Lamas, also known as Lughnasad, and this is really a fruitful, quite literally, time of year. The moon is waxing. It is in the sign of Libra in the Northern Hemisphere, and there is abundance everywhere. Trees are hanging heavy as their life force is directed toward their fruits, while the inspiring symphonic nectar gatherers is all around. While planetary energies are accelerating, and this is definitely a mood that is making things feel a little intense right now. This is a time where respecting your individual need to slow down is ever important. And this is something that came up quite a bit last week as well, too. While there is an intensity of energy, it's really important that you do make space for slowing down and finding quiet time. With the gaining momentum of energy, please respect the principle of give and take, and know that letting go is simply a way of restoring balance. So these little course corrections that you can find through deciding what to hold on to and what to release are really important at this time. Okay. So let me just look at also. Yes, so I've offered up a spread for today called Shine a Light on All That You Are. And I think that wholeness is so very, very important. We want to shine a light on all that you are. Let's just say that. And in order to shine that light, there's got to be a willingness to step into the light. And sometimes in stepping into the light, there is something we need to break free from. And you might very well be feeling that like you are ready to bust out of something. You aren't tolerating things like you once were. There is a sense you may have lost patience. And I know personally this is something that has come up within my own space as a mother. I mean, I've been a mother for a long time, and for me to lose patience and express this frustration with my son, who quite frequently is my golden child, was really out of character for me a few days ago. And so, yeah, so just know that things are a little challenging right now. So the first card intention is, what am I ready to break free from? 2, what am I fearing in regards to this? So yes, there's always a sense of loss, but there must be a willingness to let go of this. And then 3, how can I take full ownership of what my heart wants? So pretty powerful questions. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat, and then we'll dive right into the readings. So Ruchi is here long before the show started. Tammy Ann, welcome back. Clavis, namaste. Hello, Saskia. Thanks for joining us before bedtime. Hannah, Dancing Soul Sister, welcome. Donna, lovely to have you here as always. Dee, and hello to you, Dee. Lydianne, welcome. Welcome to you. Hannah says, I need this so much. Yes, so everybody's supporting one another. It's just such a beautiful time. And yeah, and I'm actually going to use a deck today that's pretty intense. It's intense in color and it's intense in its metaphors. So because I feel like some of us just really need to see it in a different way. Hello to Erica and Honey. Who else is up here? I think I've said hi to everybody. And Candy, welcome. Namaste. This intensity is making me almost psychotic. You know what? And to tell you the truth, I feel exactly the same way, but I'm going to hold space for all of you. And I will be, Ruchi is first today. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just keep that spread open. And I'll go back up and just make sure a general message for the month. Okay. So Ruchi, I'm going to do the spread that I suggested. And I'm going to pull that very intense deck out here. And this is a stunning tarot. I used the stunning tarot in combination with the Red Seeds Oracle. Oh my goodness, that was a really amazing combination. I'm not going to do that today because the Red Seeds requires a little more of a discussion. And yes, I'm definitely going to take some time also this week to edge this deck. It's crying to be edged. This is a deck by, now I don't know the creator's real name. I don't think her name is Yonasa Yaus, but that is her website. That is her Instagram, Yonasa Yaus. Same creator as this tarot deck, which is also can be quite confronting. All right. So let's hold space for Ruchi. And as always, please remember that these messages seem to be multi-layered for multi-people. And so Ruchi, first of all, the first question is, what are you ready to break free from? What are you fearing in regards to this? And finally, how can you take full ownership of what your heart wants? I had the calendula flower in my hair. I had the calendula in my ear, but then I put the glasses in and smooshed it. So it's gone to the table. I'm sorry I didn't make you a pretty bouquet for today. All right. Bright blessings for Ruchi. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Told you. Okay. Wands, wands, and wands. All wands, Ruchi. And the color purple. All right, let's do this. Wands, wands, and wands. Let's put that over there. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Okay. So tremendous intensity, right? Lots of purple. We are not focusing, so let's try to do that. Hopefully the camera will focus. Okay. What am I ready to break free from? I want to say there is a feeling perhaps of guilt. Look at this particular Seven of Wands and how the clouds and the faces in the clouds are are haunting. Okay. I want to keep this quite simple. I think what you are ready to break free from is a version of yourself that no longer feels real. There have been over the years so many masks and roles, and this is truly a time of you standing tall and taking charge. Fire, fire, fire. So the intensity of fire in this season is, we want to be cautious with playing with fire, right? Too much fire in this particular season can cause forest fires. It can cause an explosion. However, there's something really powerful in stepping into your fire in the season of fire. Okay, still fuzzy? Still fuzzy. Okay, let's see if we can fix that. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to remove it and then put it back in. Let's go. Actually, we'll go. So, no, we don't want to do that. Just give me 1 second and I will go back to, let's remove it and then add it to the stream again and then do this. Sorry, tech stuff. It's still not clear. Okay. Is there something in the way of the camera? Hello, camera, focus. Maybe I put my sweaty fingers on the camera. Just give me a second here. Let's see if we can get the card to focus. Really, it's not focusing at all. Okay, you know what? I'm going to just chat amongst yourselves while I fix this problem. And I go there. Uh-oh. Okay, let's go to here and put me back on. Sorry, I need to fix the tech before I can do this, okay? All right. Remove. No, that is not what I want to do. Let's see if that worked. Okay. There we go. Okay. So emerging, Ruchi, emerging as and standing up for who you truly are is the major theme that is going on here. In the second position, I asked, what are you fearing? What are you fearing in regards to that? Well, in regards to that, there is, and I want to say unlimited possibilities. If we look at the energy of the pentacle that is behind the woman, the pentacle contains all of the elements together, including ether, which sits at the center of the pentacle. And so you may be fearing just what it means to step out, what it means to step out into the world as this version of yourself that you truly resonate with. And that if you let go of, as you describe them, the guilts and so forth, it will, you might feel a little empty. You might feel a lot vulnerable. And so how can you take full ownership of what your heart wants? By claiming your right to be a spiritual warrior, by claiming your right to be in charge of your life. I really feel this is you no longer wanting to be controlled. This is about you, perhaps for the first time in a long time, actually standing up and stepping up and saying, this is mine and I'm going to take it. I have every right. I mean, think about the energy of these two cards and look at the strength of the person in the middle. I can do anything. And so this, I want you to build an affirmation around this. And, when this sort of energy shows up, one of the things I suggest is to find a warrior pose, to find a standing warrior pose that you practice every morning so you build this confidence. Okay, Ruchi, it's your time to stand up. I have fear of success. And in order to release that fear, I think practicing a hero's pose, practicing a standing posture, standing with your hands on your hips like Wonder Woman, that kind of gesture can be really empowering. And so the practice of self-empowerment is not to be messed with. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Jonathan. Aloha. Thank you for joining us here. Okay. Now that we are all in focus, I will carry on and go on to the next reading, which is honey. Okay. So let me go back and just see if honey had a particular question. And honey is added. And you're welcome. And hello to Helen as well, too. Okay. Honey, can you just confirm that I'm doing a reading with this spread? Okay. Thank you. Great, Jonathan. How are you feeling, Jonathan? All right, this reading is for honey. Can we please hold support, love, light around honey as we dive into these questions? Jonathan, I am using the Stunning Tarot. All right, so what is honey ready to break free from? What is she fearing in regards to breaking free, and how can she take full ownership of what her heart wants? All right. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of fire today. So the only purple suit in this deck is the Suit of Wands. And so far, we've had 4. 6 of Wands. 5 of Swords. 2 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. The 2 of Pentacles there feels good and solid, right? So the third question was, how can I take full ownership of what my heart wants? So it is important that you make every effort to find both feet on the ground, that you indeed take time for grounding practices, that you focus on your exhale breath, and then you have a really good look at what is throwing you off balance. And with that Six of Wands in the position of what am I ready to break free from, I'm wondering if this indeed is a level of meeting expectations. Is there either self-imposed or family-imposed level of perfection that is distracting you from your true path? Because if you choose your true path, are you going to feel confronted in all directions and from all directions? I'm wondering if you will feel bombarded with angry words. I'm wondering if you are concerned about angry thoughts, if you choose to take the path where you can feel like, I actually feel you taking an exhale breath. These are such emotional and intense cards. And it's like you're ready to step out of the intensity. That's kind of the gist of what I'm feeling. And so the question is, if you're ready to step out of the intent, or the challenge is, if you're ready to step out of the intensity, you must be willing to let some pieces of those experiences fall behind. And perhaps I'm sensing you on your own for a little bit, you moving out on your own, or giving yourself even a couple of weeks or months on your own so you can reset. Are you following what I'm saying here? I haven't seen you in the chat for a little bit, so just let me know. Okay, and this is an odd, there's so much intensity here, so much energy. So it's like your heart wants to step out of the storm. And I feel like almost a geographic space is required here. A shift or creating a safe space for yourself to do that is really important. Okay. All right. Let's go to, so you're feeling better. I'm definitely not pushing myself and being gentle with myself. That's wonderful. Okay. All right. So Erica is next. And let's go to Erica. Erica has a specific question. I have deep-rooted financial blocks. How can I release my fears or negative associations so that I can feel more freedom? I'm always keeping my head just above water. Very stressful. Okay. And I think this spread, if you think about it, Erica, is very apropos to your question. So I'm going to keep your question in the background, but I think perhaps there are other layers that we can dive into as we look into the cards. So specifically looking at a financial financial aspect. Several of you have done the rescinding of vows exercise with me, and I find this to be a really powerful practice. You can take yourself into any sort of a meditative space. This is actually done through quite a bit of ritual, including light weaving. But the idea is that you release in all directions of time any vows of poverty that you may have taken. And you want to repeat this. You want to understand how this is woven through centuries, decades, lifetimes, that we carry residual energy from vows we may have taken in past lives. And so sometimes that sort of exercise can really help. Also, to find and to acknowledge abundance in regards to other things. So we tend to focus on abundance of money, abundance of material goods. But instead, how about stepping outside into your garden or into a park and just honoring and acknowledging, or even going around with a little notebook and making a list of all that is abundant at this time. All that is abundant is available for you. And so if you focus on abundance of joy, abundance of, and I was talking about all of the pollinators that are around right now, it's just beautiful. If you can get out of the city and watch the stars at night, the abundance of activity in the sky. So those two things can really help. Okay. Okay. Holding light and love around Erica. I know this can be really difficult. Okay, 6 of Cups. She has her eyes closed. This is interesting. I feel definitely that first suggestion could be very powerful, you, especially with this card showing up in the first position. There is something about, and the fact that she is facing to the past. Okay, we're going to have lots of water apparently. So this is 6 of Cups, 8 of Cups, and Warrior of Cups. Okay. This is really powerful. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this pattern is so old. This pattern, and you know, sometimes the cards and the decks that I choose they have these secret messages in them. And I'm wondering if this even takes us back to some sort of Arabian lifetime where you found yourself in a position where you had to step away from the riches of the family, or perhaps you chose to step away from the extravagant lifestyle for one reason or another. Perhaps you were betrothed to a very rich sultan, and you were so repulsed by this match that you went off and became an ascetic, something like that. So I want you to understand, sometimes these patterns are just beyond what we can comprehend. So much like this woman here is holding the cup, I suggest that you honor the sacredness of your connection to your karmas. The karmas are connected to many chakras, but primarily to the water chakra, the Swadhisthana, the second chakra. So honoring water, honoring the karmas, and releasing this particular karma so that you are free of this choice that you made so many years ago. And so I think part of this message that's coming through for you is to step into abundance, to step into a life of ease. And so getting clear around what is enough for you. And understanding, while yes, it would be amazing to have the riches of the world, you've already chosen to walk away from that at some point. So this, again, I think this theme of balance is really important. And there is going to be a very important thing here about honoring your emotions. I can see with this Eight of Cups card that this is really interesting. Perhaps, there was an invitation to a betrothed. There actually was a deep and powerful emotional connection, but you chose to suppress your emotion, to hide your emotion, because there was what was connected with it went against your principles. Whoa, I just had this massive amount of energy move through me. This is really, really powerful stuff, Erica. Notice how in all three cards, the person is holding a single cup, almost in honoring, in reverence. And I can feel that in reverence of water, in reverence of the goddess, in reverence of the goddess within, in reverence of your femininity, in honoring of balancing the second chakra. And so in honoring the past, we release it. So yeah, I'm going to say ceremonially releasing the past. And I would go one step further and to take some sort of an object and perhaps to throw it into the ocean symbolically. That could be really something amazing for you. And then look to the beautiful prose of Dee. I just love Dee's writing. So thank you for that, Dee. Okay. This deck, I have a really interesting relationship with it. And because of the cultures in this deck, I think it really does tap into past lives well. You're welcome, Erica. All right, so this is a reading for Candy. Just going to acknowledge the user. So let's hold light, love, support around Candy as we reflect upon this theme. Let's go to Donna's comment. One of the biggest joys and delights of my life has been becoming an email pen pal of Dee's and getting to read her brilliant prose regularly. Oh, that's so beautiful. Dee, you should write a book, or I would buy your book of poetry. And if you have already published a book, let us know. We will sell it for you. Okay. So we are in the Suit of Pentacles, which is connected to Egyptian, kind of an Egyptian theme. Ace of Pentacles. So this is not in the letting go position. This is the fear of letting go. So we're Pentacles, Pentacles, and Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is the emergence. This is interesting. This kind of takes me back to what I was saying in a previous reading. Is there a sense of something being held over you? So in this Ace of Pentacles, we see, let's call her a goddess, holding the pentacle overhead. I also feel like, if the Ace of Pentacles is an image of the page receiving the gift of the ace. This is the ace though, right? Not the page. Yes. Okay, so this is the ace. Okay, so this is the Ace of Pentacles. We're talking about releasing. Yeah, I was feeling this whole responsibility overhead, responsibility to provide, responsibility to be the one who makes the decisions, responsibility to carry. Yeah, that's what it is. Like carrying the weight of the family. And so naturally, the fear is, and just look how she is covered and consumed by snakes. The snakes representing perhaps, these readings are deeply interconnected. This feels also a little bit connected to, oh my goodness. Has there been a sense of, what's the word? Repugnance, distaste for money, distaste for the material. That's what I'm feeling here. Not that you're ready to go out into the world and be an ascetic, but you're ready for a simpler life. Things being less complicated. And so in disentangling yourself from the complications of the material three-dimensional experience, you are feeling as if it's like it's taken away your soul. It's taken away a piece of who you are. And so what I'm sensing here is like, this is an experience of reclaiming your authentic self by releasing. Yeah, this sounds very like, again, another profound reading. Very much a theme of simplification. And standing in your strength and standing in your power and embracing your. So here's the question. How do you embrace your power without the material? Maybe the big picture here is to finding that piece of yourself without the stuff. Right? So we're quite literally getting naked, much like she is here. We're getting naked because we need to know who we are and what we are, and that we can stand alone and stand strong outside of the castle, outside of the family's expectations, outside of. And Donna, he says, getting down to our true soul's essence. I feel as if this figure here understands there's work to be done. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Gautama Buddha story where he, and you know what? And again, right? This is the same story that I've already told today, where was it Erica? Erica was betrothed to a very wealthy person. And there was something about that experience that would not allow her authenticity to stand tall. Hey there, Joseph. Okay, so this is a really interesting theme that is arising, and I want everyone who's watching this in the playback and sitting here right now to think about, well, what if you let go of this? What if you rented a locker, a tiny locker, put a few treasures in there that you would like to have for the rest of your life, and then you left and you went out into the world to do something else? I'm Are you feeling this? Because this is something I'm feeling here. Okay. Let's have a sip of water. Now, Jonathan, for those of you that don't know him, has done a lot of work. Jonathan is an amazing soul who is deep in his spiritual work in every way. I'd be really curious to know, Jonathan, what crystals you have around you as you are healing. Mm-hmm. I also feel as if the elixirs are really important right now. And those, isn't that interesting? I don't even know if Frank is into this stuff. That's something I don't know about you too. Yeah. Okay. Whew. All right. So let's hold space. Healing light and love for Jonathan as we reflect upon this spread. The letting go, the fear of letting go, and then the stepping into your own power. And I feel, Jonathan, like you are already on this road. So this is just kind of like a micro layer. This is I used the word earlier, this is a course correction. And so for some people, this may be a huge course correction, and others people just a little adjustment. Oh my goodness, Jonathan, your first card is a Four of Swords. Okay. Look at you floating in the ocean. Hmm. So there is a sense of release here. And perhaps the how to is in the body position of the person, but what is being released is mental anguish. And what is underneath that and where that is coming from, I'm not sure. But there is some truth. There is, I don't know if before you went on your vacation, if there was a situation where you were confronted, but I feel like this is a message of just let it go. And you know how to do that. Why would there be a fear of letting that go? Because what was expressed was a powerful trigger. So, Four of Swords, Ten of Swords, and the Moon. Okay. And I cannot imagine anyone slaying you with words, but we all have these experiences where we feel bombarded with others' thoughts or perceptions. And this perhaps, and maybe this even happened on vacation, I'm not sure, but this has taken a toll on your physical body. It has brought up some things that are causing you to look deep within your soul. And the weaving of these cards, the connection of these cards is really powerful. And I know for you as an acupuncturist, this is an important card for you. And in this particular pose, we can see her pelvis is open to the sky, but also her heart is open, her throat is open, and she is completely vulnerable. This is a com- this is a a reading of surrender, complete surrender. If you can release that experience and understand that it needed to come up because you hadn't, sometimes we get hit with the same thing over and over and over, and we think that we have processed it, but there's a reason it needed to emerge for the final time so that you could see it for what it is and then completely surrender to it so that you can let it go. There is no other card in the tarot that is a greater bowing down to the ego than the Ten of Swords. And there may be others in the chat who are looking at these cards. And right now, my heart rate is elevated much higher than it usually is. And I can feel, I can empathize with this situation. And you know what? I'm almost sensing a kind of a Seven of Swords feeling here, that there was a violation. There was a violation of sorts. And so it is, if you don't want to carry it, it's necessary to give it to the God of the ocean, necessary to give it to God, give it back to the earth, to lay it down for another to deal with. Big exhale breath. All right, let's go to your comments just to see if there's anything. Okay. Jonathan says he had a confrontation with someone before our vacation and it really set me off. But I've been releasing my hurt and feelings and healing because I know that I wasn't in the wrong. Okay. So just remember that these things always come up for a reason, and that to take a moment to honor the lesson, acknowledge it for what it is, and then to lie down. Yeah, lay it down. Okay. It is the reason I made my What is a Coach video. That did catch my eye. I haven't watched it yet. So, okay. So this, with these cards coming up today, this energy would still feel in progress. Okay. So anything you can do to continue to continue to exhale this experience and allow the integration of this process feels important. It's beautiful. I mean, these three, I'm just staring at these three cards. It's really quite profound. All right. Thank you all very much for your input. It's beautiful. All right. So Sharon, Trio of Witches, is next. Thank you for that endorsement, Joseph. All right. Let me scroll on back. Sharon. Sharon, am I doing a reading with this spread, or did you have a particular question? All right. Just a bit back. Okay, I'll try and find your question. There we go. I found it. I am working on my spiritual growth and am experiencing an internal conflict where my rational mind says this is all nonsense and to give up. This is causing a lot of anxiety. I am working on my spiritual growth and experiencing an internal conflict where my rational mind says this is all nonsense and to give it up. Whoa, okay. Well, if you're hanging out with this crowd, you know it's not nonsense. I sense that with all of the readings today and all of this energy, that what people are going through perhaps is, and maybe the astrologers in the chat can speak to this, but it's like what is coming to the surface is very, very old, and we're finally getting to the point where we're ready to release it. Okay. So on a very practical point of view, you want to use your left brain as much as possible. And that goes from everything from picking up your cup of coffee with your left hand to consciously, as you go down the stairs or up the stairs, lead with your left foot. If you are doing a yoga practice, you want to start with left side first. With the, isn't the new moon just beautiful right now? The moon set has been gorgeous. It looks like God's thumbnail right now. So you go out into the moonlight and put your intentions into the moonlight. The moon is waxing, and so you're working on spiritual growth. You offer that up to the moon, to your lunar side. Remember that the left side is the receiving side. So what can you receive? Practice receiving. Okay? Practice receiving. This kind of language is about a deficient receptive side. So you want to strengthen and embrace the receptive side. You can simply sit and unless, of course, you have depression or anything like that. This is not recommended if you're taking any kind of drugs for depression or other mental wellness issues. Okay, so you close your right nostril and you just focus on breathing in the left nostril. So you want to activate and stimulate your right brain. Okay, these can all really, really help. Good night, Saskia. Sleep well. I am just in a very analytical profession. Okay, here's another piece of advice. So sometimes people are bombarded by entities or scary dreams at night. And one of the things I say to them, whether they're 11 years old or they're 71 years old, is that, and I don't know how old you are, is that you treat the bad dream as a naughty little child. And you tell it not to be present. This is your time for rest and you need to sleep and you're not welcome in my room. And you put your foot down. And if you need to draw a defensive border or something, you can do that as well too. So the same thing with your analytical mind, right? You say something to your analytical mind in terms of it's time for you to step out. You could, okay, here's another one. Think about Dumbledore. I know, here we go. Harry Potter again. Dumbledore puts the wand into his ear. He takes out the memory, puts the memory in the pensieve. Why don't you take out the analytical mind and put it to rest, quite literally, and then sit down and pull some cards. Right? So sometimes we need to get really creative with this kind of stuff. All right. These 3 cards are for Sharon after that long diatribe. Okay. Let's hold light and love for Sharon through this challenging time. And I have a lot of empathy because This kind of just feels like a repeat of what I just said. It's funny. I do readings for a particular dentist, and anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just focus on you. Leave behind justice. Step into your journey and claim what is your own. This is hilarious if you are in the legal profession. I don't know what your analytical profession is, but if you are in the legal profession, perhaps this is actually taking a sabbatical from that. Or if you are in another analytical job where you are the judge, right? You are the moderator and so forth. You're in IT. Okay. So what does justice show? Justice weighs the heart against the feather. This is about, and remember we were talking about how old and deep karmas are. Why is your analytical mind taking over? Or I want to look at this. In order for your analytical mind to be freed, what is it we need to know? Part of the challenge with the Justice card is that what is our reality is exactly what we need. It may not seem just. We may be struggling against it. Okay, I'm going to go in a very different direction than I was planning on going. Okay, so right now you are struggling against your analytical mind. What if instead of struggling against it, you invited your analytical mind? Okay, this might seem really weird because, sometimes I get really weird. Um, and I don't want you to feel like you are in a place of manipulation, but there's nothing more annoying to someone who wants to rile you up than you turn to them and you say, "Oh, that's how you feel." And you don't respond and you don't react. I feel as if playing the counselor, playing the therapist to the analytical mind might be a method that will calm it quickest. Yes, but I feel like I am the mom of the team, making sure people are doing the right thing. Okay, so there is a fear. Look at you. Look at you holding your bat here. There's a fear if you let go of all of the responsibility. There's a fear of if you don't do it, no one else will. So I want to say that there's a part of yourself that doesn't trust you've already done enough. Bye, Jonathan. That's beautiful, Donna. Your heart doesn't trust your mind, and your mind doesn't trust your heart. And there's a fear of going forward on your own. There's a very shadowy energy here, and I'm wondering why it's clinging to you. It's like there's a hesitation. There's a physical, mental, emotional hesitation in stepping out. Like when one is afraid to come out of the tarot closet, sort of thing. Or you enter into a new relationship, but you don't tell them about your spiritual practices, or you kind of dummy it down, or you simplify it. I'm not sure that you are clear who you want to be in your spiritual journey. And so taking some time to write about what your day looks like if you embrace the spiritual path. Is there a fear that you may have to let this work go? Is there a fear that the two can't go side by side? For a period of time, I think they can, but there definitely will be something that needs to be released. And it's almost as if there's a fear of stepping through the veil. So I feel as if you're in this very murky place right now. And if you wrote on the top of your journal page, this is what my day would feel like. This is what it would smell like. This is how my body would move more easily if I could, or if I were this way. I think you're not clear. I feel you're not clear about that. So can you take some time to write it, to imagine it? Perhaps find a tarot deck that has the most beautiful spiritual kind of experience, and do some path working with it and see if you can actually step into it. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Donna, is Joseph next? Can you just let me know? I'll do the reading for Joseph if he's next. And kind of interesting, I know this is only the second time, but this particular Seven of Wands is it's really interesting. You're welcome, Sharon. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So I guess the last reading today will be for Nandani. Nandani. I will have to go and find Nandani. I didn't even see Nandani come into the chat. Okay. All right, here's Nandani. How? Okay. All right. So, Nandani, like I said to the previous person, it's really important that you are clear what this relationship feels like, that you are able to close your eyes and feel their essence, that this is not, um, I feel so much tension here, so much anguish. And again, this is a really beautiful question that naturally fits into the energy of this spread. Okay, so this reading is for Nandani. We will focus on the question at hand. Nandani, is your pronoun she, or please let us know what your pronoun is, please. I'm not familiar with that name. Okay. Let's hold love, light around Nandani as we focus on the energy of relationship, bringing in the underlying layers of the spread this week. Okay. Devil, Warrior of Swords, and Page of Wands. Okay. All right. So the what needs to be released position, the first position, again, are expectations, behaviors, patterns that don't let your true light shine. You are being led down the garden path in a way that isn't comfortable for you. Your need to emerge from the darkness is abundantly clear in these two cards. These two cards are people who own their stuff. They're not pleasers, they're not followers, they're they have an abundance of confidence to stand up for how they feel and what they want in their life. So until you are able to do that, you will not meet the bright light who matches that. Let go, leave, move on from those experiences that are holding you behind. That might be people, that might be some kind of medications or drugs, that might be a particular work environment that is not letting you shine bright. Hello, Aisha. Welcome. Okay. These cards are in such contrast with each other. So I hope you can receive that message and yeah. And understand its essence. Okay, so those were some mighty powerful readings today. And I know I didn't get to everyone, but I want to thank you. Oh my goodness, your support is so amazing, everybody in the chat. You really, really go above and beyond in truly in supporting one another. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. Today is Tuesday. So tonight I have the 22nd and final class of Tarot Foundations. And if you are interested in studying with me, the next class begins in September. And if you're interested in taking that class, please do not delay in registering, okay? Thanks, Donna, and thank you to Sharon for that. I did a video. So I did a video the other day on Monday, that was yesterday, about what it's like to work with me and to read from a place of empowerment, to read from multiple perspectives, and to find a level of comfort in the cards that that you can own. And I know there's a couple people in the chat that have studied with me, and even if you've been reading for years, this is a great experience. I know Joseph was one of them. I don't know if Clevis is still here. So yeah, so think about this. If you're wanting to take your readings to the next level, be sure to sign up. So Wednesday, we're going to dive. So tomorrow, and this will be this is usually a members only feature, but tomorrow this will be a public video. We're going to start our journey with the Herb Crafters Tarot tomorrow. Oh, you know what? It's not. That is wrong. Let me edit that. Just a minute here. I believe it's at 11. I think it's at 11. Right? Oh my goodness. Whatever is on the website is correct. I'm just gonna change that. No, that's not right either. That will be 11 a.m. Okay, that should be correct. 11 a.m. So Sharon's question was, let's go down here. What was your question? Oh, Shannon's here too. Thanks, Joseph. Thank you for that endorsement. Okay, you're talking about the deck deep dive. So the deck deep dive is either at 10 a.m. or 4 p.m. And tomorrow it's at 4 p.m. Pacific. Okay, so whatever your time is. So that's when the deck deep dive is. The thumbnail is already up, so you can go to my channel and see what that is. Also tomorrow, I'm going to carry on with the Forager's Daughter. No, not we've finished Forager's Daughter. Tomorrow, I'm also going to carry on with the Prisma Visions, the Prisma Light Visions and Cosma Visions discussion. And yeah, so I have tried to be as organized as possible and put my thumbnails up early. So if you go to the actual channel page, you can see what is upcoming if you're interested. Fridays, I'm actually going to change. I'm going to do a tarot tag on Friday that really, really intrigued me. So yes, so thank you all so much for being here today. Blessings for Lughnasad, and may the abundance nourish you and fulfill you in a way that brings joy and light to all those around you. Namaste.